They're in a tree. This was all ripped open. This plywood pried. I had a little short piece on there. I guess I should have screwed it or something. But it like pried. I mean, it was literally snowing inside the hive. But you can see where they tried to see the propolis. They tried fixing it. There's propolis all around it. Propolis all over the front of the hive. I mean, that is a. I'll fix it. I'm gonna come up with a different way to mount them. I'm gonna use cleats instead of screws, because the problem is, I mean, those are good screws. They're made for metal roofing. They're 2.5 inches, and they get plenty of meat. They got a washer on them, but the problem is that it just sways, you know, in the wind. I don't know if you ever built a tree fort when you were a kid, you know, eventually it just squeaks. But it's a good time to talk about beekeeper deniability. I think a lot of beekeepers, in fact, I think all beekeepers are born with it. And probably third-year beekeeper is probably the worst at beekeeper deniability. It's really a serious disease. It's kind of like gold fever, bee fever, beekeeper deniability. What I mean by that is you blame everything but yourself. You blame the queen, you blame the strain of queen, you blame the box, you blame I didn't put this, I didn't put that, or I put this and I put that, or the queens I got from this guy or that state or that area or whatever. You blame everybody else but yourself. And here we got a swarm that swarmed late last fall. I mean, that box, I can barely pick it up. There's that much honey in it. I mean, I put it in a sled and brought it over here. It would have been downright painful to carry it over here. There's that much honey in there, and the swarm's that big. This hive has had no mite treatment. It hasn't had no contact with humans whatsoever. It's been hanging in a tree. I mean, maybe the parent hive, you know, it could have possibly come from another beekeeper's hive, or maybe come out of an oak tree or something. I don't know, whatever. But since then, since it swarmed, I mean, it's had no human contact whatsoever. No treatments. It's had no feeding. It's had no wood chips put on it. I mean, there's been nothing to it. The main thing is it hasn't been dug into. I mean, it just shows you how strong a hive is. The more you can stay out of them, the better you are, I guess I'm saying. And quit blaming everybody else. Blame yourself. It's third-year beekeeper generally gets humbleized. Generally, a third-year beekeeper, he goes in, he knows everything. I mean, you know it all. You're going to do this and that. And that's generally the year where you get downright hammered. You get humbled. And as you get into the 4th, 5th year or whatever, you lose that deniability. You know, you're not denying everything. Everything's on you. You're the beekeeper. You're the one taking care of them. I mean, I don't care what kind of strain it is. You could get a packaged queen from Georgia. There's a way to overwinter that queen. You know, it didn't overwinter because you didn't set it up to overwinter right. That's why. But that's beekeeper deniability, in my opinion. And I know I've had it. And I know I still have it. I mean, sometimes I blame other people, but man, look how hot that baby is. There's a big old swarm in there. Look at that. She is a big old, she's down in that corner. They're down in the bottom. The entrance is over on the right side there. But check it out. She's a big old, that's a big old heat signature. She's better than all my other boxes. I guess it's narrower. That's probably why it's showing up better. But so I know these got some big clusters in them. That one's showing up. Well, probably because it's so narrow. It's only a nuke narrow. Wow, look at it. It is heating up. So that's a hive that's had no human contact. That's how hot that baby's showing. So before you go blaming everybody else but yourself, Here's a hive that's had no, this is how well it's done without no human contact. So, beekeeper, you see it all the time. People blame, oh, so-and-so is this and that and blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, that's my opinion on it. Oh, it's showing up pretty hot. I gotta wrap that one yet. This is that one we wrapped the other day on film. Oh, it's got a little bit of heat coming out of that corners, but that's all right. Probably a little added ventilation ain't gonna hurt anything. It's vented fully at the bottom. It's not leaking anything on this side, really. Oh, there's that one. See that? That one's been handled by a beekeeper. And then you got the one next to it that has that no human contact whatsoever. Check them out. All right, cool.